doesn't glove talking about cleaning. Today we're going to talk about how I clean our home. And when I say I really mean we. And when I say we, I really mean mostly my husband and a cleaner. Good job, thanks. So one of the first swaps that we made when I started out on this zero waste journey was to swap toxic chemical-laden store-bought cleaning products, you know the sort, the ones that you have for different areas of the home that just make your eyes water when you use them. And instead I started using more natural alternatives. So I'm going to talk you through what I use around the home. Bear in mind that my cleaning standards are probably on the lower end of the scale, but my husband's standards are very high, so it took a bit of time to win him over with the more natural alternatives, but now even he says he wouldn't go back. It also takes a little bit of getting used to not having that clean smell around the home, so the smell of bleach or polish, or all those sort of synthetic smells that come in most cleaning products. There's none of that when you switch to a natural alternative, so instead you'll get a very subtle scent of essential oils, or sometimes, probably most of the time, no smell at all. As many of you also know, we do have a cleaner who comes twice a month. She uses the same sorts of things that I'm going to talk you through now, so things like bicarbonate of soda, vinegar, she turned up with her own lemon once, and reusable cloths, all that sort of jazz. But it's just so nice to have someone come in and kind of keep on top of things, and personally, I swear it's the secret to a happy marriage. So here's what I use to clean our home. There are so many resources online when it comes to finding DIY recipes for making your own natural cleaning products. But I've also found a couple of books really useful as well. Obviously, Zero Waste Home has got a whole bunch of recipes in there as well, and I like that they are just super simple, really straightforward, and it's mostly things like vinegar and water. Hooray! Ooh. I found the Organically Clean Home book really useful. It's got some recipes in there that some of them haven't worked for me, probably because I live in a really hard water area, and also I can't get hold of certain ingredients without plastic packaging. So I have tried a few things, sometimes they've worked, sometimes they haven't, but I find that this is really useful and has been a great resource for me. Kitchen disinfecting spray, you can make your own tablets for the dishwasher. I've tried that and it didn't work that well for us, but again, I think I was limited on some of the ingredients when it came to sourcing them. I think it's fun to give these things a go, and if they don't work for you, no worries, try an alternative. But I found this is really useful when I want to find out which essential oils have certain properties, or if I need to remove something with a stain. It's just a really useful book. Vinegar! It melts away limescale, grease, it softens things, it's got so many amazing properties. This is white distilled vinegar. I get it from Sainsbury's. Other supermarkets also sell it. This is their own brand one, and it costs around 50p per glass bottle. I usually buy about 8 or 10 bottles in one go, and it's the only time I ever seem to go into a supermarket these days. It does come with a plastic lid, but I found that I can recycle the plastic lids by taking them to my mother-in-law's, and where she lives they actually collect and recycle plastic lids as part of their curbside collection. Hooray! So I will save up a little bag of those and take them over to her. Isn't she lucky? I have tried making my own scrap vinegar from apple cores, which I've just run out of, so I do need to make some more, but I like using this to clean with. So I mix this in a 50-50 combination with water, and then add a few drops of tea tree essential oil. This is an organic one, probably about 10 drops to be honest. And put it in a spray bottle, and I use that as an all-purpose cleaner. Tea tree, rosemary and peppermint essential oils are said to be really great for their antibacterial properties. So if you do need any essential oils in your cleaning kit, those would be great ones to start out with. Essential oils are something that I'm still learning a lot about, and I find it really hard to remember what all the properties are for different ones, which is why I rely on those books that I talked about earlier. So I'll just spray this onto any kind of kitchen surface and then just use a damp cloth to wipe it clean. For me, this really basic recipe, if we can call it a recipe, works really well. There are other recipes out there. So if you want to use things like liquid Castile soap, or a sort of alcohol, is it isopropyl or something, alcohol, those are actually really great alternatives for like granite and marble worktops where you shouldn't use vinegar. So if you've got a sort of an expensive worktop in your kitchen, then do a little bit of research. Another thing we really like to use when cleaning the surfaces in the kitchen, for example, is just a little bit of washing up liquid. So this is an Ecoegg refill, which I get from a shop in London called As Nature Intended. It's one of the few places that actually sells a refill. So we just work a little bit of this into a damp cloth and then use it to clean the surfaces, and for us it works really well. In my mind, if it's designed to clean a plate so that you can eat from it, it will clean a surface to a decent level. That's how I see it. To be honest, I have tried making my own washing up liquid and it just hasn't worked for us personally in the past. Soap nuts didn't work, Castile soap hasn't worked. So I've tried a few DIYs, and I think if something doesn't work for you and it's becoming a bit of a headache, then just go for an easier alternative. And I found an Ecoegg refill near me, which means that we can just fill up and life is suddenly a bit easier again. Lemons and lemon juice are said to have antibacterial properties and are great cleaning agents. I just use a lemon to occasionally disinfect our chopping board from time to time. When it comes to wiping the surfaces, I use reusable cloths. I've got two kinds here. This one is made from organic cotton and it's by the Organic company. I really like it. And this one, you've seen me talk about these loads before. It's looking a little bit tired now though, but still going strong. And this one is made from natural wood fibre and it's by a brand called Ecoegg. Now, if you may remember this from my plastic-free July video when I was looking for an alternative to microfiber cloths, because the majority of them are made from synthetic material, basically a form of plastic, and they shed tiny fibres that slip through filters in the washing machine and end up in our waterways and oceans. So I was looking for something that wasn't made of plastic, and I found these, and I've really enjoyed using them. I think I raved about how much I loved them. Probably a little too much, to be honest. But yes, just a little reminder that that's what I use to wipe the surfaces with. Bicarbonate of soda is just one of those things you kind of need to have in your cleaning kit. It does so many awesome things like removing stains. It works really well as an oven cleaner. Obviously, you guys know that I use it as well for deodorant and making things like my own homemade toothpaste. You can also use it for baking, let's not forget about that, it's pretty crucial. I usually buy my bicarbonate of soda in a paper bag, as you guys have seen before. The bag was starting to disintegrate a little bit, so I transferred it to a jar. What else have I used it for? Oh, for cleaning the loo as well. You can sprinkle some of this in and then add some vinegar and you get a real kind of fizzing sensation, which helps to clean the loo. And then I just scrub it with the loo brush. We have a wooden loo brush that sits in a metal bucket next to our loo, in case you're wondering. I've used this stuff as a homemade oven cleaner and it worked really well. So when we moved from our old flat about 2.5 years ago to this flat, we had a lot of baked on stuff on the inside of our oven, and I used bicarbonate of soda and a bit of water to clean it, and it worked amazingly well. I was so genuinely shocked at how well it worked. So bicarbonate of soda is one of those essential ingredients. You're going to find that most DIY recipes when it comes to making your own cleaning products will call for baking soda, bicarbonate of soda. So for us, it's an essential in our household when it comes to cleaning, personal care products and baking. I've got a few brushes here. Let's talk about brushes. These are what I use to do the washing up with. They're wooden and they've got natural bristles. This one's the bottle brush. This one's just the regular washing up brush. And my God, they're beautiful. I don't know what it is that when you get older, you start to really appreciate things like a well-made brush. So this is the second lot of brushes that I've bought now. The first lot lasted a good 2.5 years roughly, and then about 6 months ago I bought these two. So they last really well. They just make me want to do the washing up. That weird. I also have this brush just as a sort of extra in case I need it. This is the one that has the removable head, so if you're someone who wants to replace your washing up brush more regularly instead of once every 2 years like I do with this one, then this would probably be the best option for you. You just take the head off, compost it or burn it, and then buy a new head and get it back on. It's really simple. There it is. I also love steel wool. It just works really well at getting rid of kind of anything baked on or anything that's been cooked on, or in my case, if you've burned something onto the bottom of the pan, it works really well to kind of remove it. So yeah, steel wool is a good friend of mine. When it comes to things like dusting, we'll just use like a damp cloth and give surfaces or certain objects a wipe. Or my favourite thing to use is this feather duster. It's just so beautiful. I think it's such a sexy feather duster. Tell you what else is sexy. This new hairdo. Do we think I could be a brunette? It molts a little bit, so I usually have to hoover up a few feathers afterwards, but I just think it's so nice. Ah, Hoover. Damn. it's a good hoover. It's by Dyson. It doesn't require any bags, so you just empty the kind of body of the hoover when it's full, and the suction on it is amazing. And yeah, because it doesn't require any bags, we don't have to buy any bags, we don't have to throw away any bags, there's no plastic on the bags because there are no bags. Basically, it's a great hoover. As a result of several failed attempts at DIY laundry powder, I've settled on buying this. It's the Ecoegg non-bio washing powder. It comes in a recyclable cardboard box, and honestly it's made life a heck of a lot easier. Interestingly, when I met Bea Johnson, one of her key points was a zero waste lifestyle shouldn't be about making everything from scratch. It's about kind of enjoying life, making the most of life, and sort of doing the simplest, easiest thing that is available to you. If you enjoy making things from scratch and that's a passion of yours, then great, you're getting some enjoyment out of it and you're learning a new skill. If, however, you're someone like me who doesn't really enjoy making things like beauty products and cleaning products from scratch, then honestly, the simpler and easier, the better. So I have tried some DIY recipes. They didn't work that well for us, and honestly, I'm really happy using this. Just has a little nozzle there and you pour out the laundry powder. If you live in the US and you've tried Lauren Singer's The Simply Co laundry powder, I'd love to know what you think of it. I haven't tried it yet. It's not available in the UK yet, but fingers crossed it will come over here soon. And I'm really intrigued to see how well it works. I hear great things, but for the moment, I'm sticking with the Ecoegg Zero laundry powder in a box, a recyclable box. When it comes to laundry softener, I just use vinegar. I just pour a bit of it into the laundry softener section in the machine, and then I like to add a few drops of essential oil. My favourites are cedarwood, geranium, and eucalyptus. These all smell incredible. So much so that a friend of mine who recently stayed over and had to borrow some pyjamas couldn't believe how nice my clothing smelt. So I'm just saying, guys. What I also like to do is steep citrus peels in vinegar for like 2 weeks in a jar, and then that makes a really wonderful smelling fabric softener, or you can use it to sort of clean surfaces with as well, but it's just a really nice alternative to using essential oils and using up those citrus peels. Another way of keeping clothes smelling really good is to put some of these pouches filled with dried lavender into your drawers and wardrobe. So I have a few of these. This one I got from Natural Mat. It was the mattress company that when I bought my pillow, they put this in with it. Very kind, thanks guys. And this one is one that I made myself from some dried lavender. So I bought some lavender from a market, I let it dry over the winter, and then I put it inside this little cloth bag which I just had to hand and tied it at the top with a rubber band. I either hang it in my wardrobe or put it in my drawer, and it smells amazing. Every time I scrunch it, that's just the smell of summer right there. Also, whilst we're talking about laundry, a quick note on dry cleaning. So most dry cleaning establishments will use a lot of creepy chemicals. There's one called Perk, which is really not great for one's health. So it's best to try and find one that has greener practices. Johnson's and Blanc are two that are near me, and they use greener natural alternatives when it comes to dry cleaning. I also like to take things in a reusable kind of suit bag with a little label on the front that says no plastic please, and so far so good. They haven't returned it to me with any plastic, but I don't actually dry clean things that often, so just a little side note on dry cleaning there. Now, if you've seen my plastic free July video, then you guys will know that I've had a serious struggle finding dishwasher tablets that didn't come wrapped individually in plastic, or if they did come without the plastic pouch, they were not from an eco-friendly brand. So it was a bit of a, what do I do? I've also, again, tried making my own, and all of the recipes that I tried just left a white film on everything and didn't clean that well. So for us, the DIY dishwasher tablets were a bit of a fail. But again, that doesn't mean that they won't work for you guys. If you want to give them a go, if that's something you're into, then absolutely, by all means, why not? But in the comments of that video, some of you guys had a great suggestion, and it was to try Dishwasher Liquid. So I found this one by Faith in Nature. It's kind of a bulk size in that it's 5 litres. Yes, it comes in a plastic bottle. I will recycle it, but at the moment, this is the best available option to me. It's lasted us really well so far. So I think I bought it about 6 months ago, and we're just under halfway there. So I think it will probably last us another 4 months roughly, and it's worked really well. Way better than any store-bought tablets, way better than any homemade tablets, that's for sure. It says bottle and cap can be recycled where facilities exist. So it's not a perfect zero waste option, but it's certainly a better option in that it's going to last us for probably around 9 months, 10 months in total. It says 300 washes. Thanks guys for the suggestion. You rock. Cue the sexy music. Oh yeah. These are some natural rubber gloves by If You Care. I don't know if you've heard of that brand, you've probably seen it around. They're made from fair rubber, FSC certified. I don't wear these all the time for doing washing up, even though they do look pretty good. I mostly use these if I've got to do something a bit yucky, so perhaps I've got to fish something out of the loo that's fallen in accidentally from my back pocket. Then I'll put these on, or if I need to scrub something on the balcony, which looks a bit bleh, then I'll put these on. So these are kind of my gross job gloves. Is it weird that they smell really nice? This is a little collection of used toothbrushes. So I saved a few and I use them for kind of hard to reach areas if we need to clean anything around the taps. Things like my engagement ring, if that needs a bit of a clean, I'll use one of these. I also use them to clean my trainers recently because they got a bit grubby and I thought, well, I could use a toothbrush to clean the mud off those. So these have actually been surprisingly useful and I'm really glad I kept hold of a few. This is a squeegee, I think that's what it's called. I bought an all metal and rubber one and we just use this to kind of clean the shower glass or a mirror if it's gotten too steamy, or if I've wiped a surface and I want to sort of make sure there are no smears on it, I'll use this. I wouldn't say it's necessarily an essential item, but I find it surprisingly useful. Can't go wrong with a good dustpan and brush, especially if you are as clumsy as I am. So these are really handy for just clearing up anything that I've spilled on the floor or any crumbs that have dropped. It means we don't have to get the Hoover out every time. I can just grab these and put them to work and it's super quick. I have left these out on our balcony, which is why they look really weathered. So I wouldn't advise doing that. But this one's made from wood, it's got natural bristles, and this is just a metal pan, so there's no plastic on that. And I think I found them in a shop in Brighton, and my mum treated me to them because she knows how much I love a brush. Borax isn't available anywhere in the EU. It's been sort of labelled as a harmful substance. So we have borax substitute, so I don't know if that's as effective as borax, and a lot of DIY recipes online do come from American blogs, and I know over there borax is sort of totally permitted. So in this tin, this is just like an old tin that had drinking chocolate in it, I think. I've got the borax substitute refill. So back in the day when I first went zero waste, I went to an amazing shop called Unpackaged, which was basically the dream zero waste shop. It had everything in bulk. It was designed for people like me, bringing their own jars and tins and cloth bags, etc. And in my giddy enthusiasm, I bought some borax substitute, and it has sat in this tin ever since. To be honest, I haven't ever really used much of it. I might have used a little bit for the odd DIY recipe just to try it out. It says purchased on the 15th of September 2013. Wow. You can easily buy it in cardboard boxes. I'll link it in the description box below. Another key ingredient in a lot of DIY recipes when it comes to making your own cleaning products is washing soda, also known as soda crystals. So this is one that I made myself. So when I was originally looking for soda crystals or washing soda, the only one I could find came in a plastic bag by Dry Pack. So I thought, fine, I'll try and make my own. You can make your own washing soda by heating up bicarbonate of soda, either in the oven or in a pan. I'll put a link to that in the info box as well if you want to give that a go. I was doing a little bit of research before I started filming this video, and I found that there is a brand available to us in the UK. It's a French brand, but it's sold on biggreensmile.com. Sold in a cardboard box with apparently no plastic and just a little metal sort of pull-out thing to pour the powder from. Does that make sense? And that seems to be the only option. I've never seen that brand before, so I don't know if it's new or if it's just new to biggreensmile.com, but I'm definitely going to buy it and try it out, because up until recently it's been impossible to find washing soda that isn't sold in a plastic bag. Bin liners. These are from Ecoegg. They're made from wood flakes that are a waste product of the Scandinavian wood industry, and they have been so brilliant, so brilliant. I've spoken about them before. If you've seen my plastic-free July video, then you'll know how much I love them. I use these to collect any extra food scraps or anything that we need to throw away. To be honest, almost all of our rubbish is biodegradable, but some of it can't go in the worm bin, so I'll use those bags to throw those items away. And they're a great plastic-free alternative to bin liners, because some people still need a bin liner. Even if you're living a zero waste lifestyle, there will be times occasionally when you might need to throw something out. Whew! And that's it, guys. We made it to the end of a video about cleaning products. Let's hug it out. I would like to say a huge thank you to you if you've made it to the end of this video about cleaning. If you've enjoyed it, then please hit that thumbs up button. And if you haven't subscribed already and a video about cleaning products hasn't put you off, then I'd love you to hit that red subscribe button. And finally, if you've got any favourite cleaning methods or products or ways of approaching this whole cleaning thing that have worked for you guys, or maybe they haven't worked for you guys and you just want to share your frustration, then put it in the comments. It's always useful to share these things, and hey, maybe we can help each other out. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one, and remember, glove ya. My own personal stylist. I also use this as, oh my god, it's so boring.